Hello, my favorite foodies. Today we are going to be making the classic deviled eggs. Let's get started. Let's start with some hot water in a pan. And now let's place the eggs in the water on high heat. We want to bring them to a rolling boil for about 10 to 12 minutes. Then we're going to go ahead and drain the hot water out, making sure none of the eggs fall into the strainer. You don't want them to break. Once the hot water is completely drained, go ahead and turn your water on to cold. And then go ahead and place the eggs back into the sink and fill it up with cold water so they can take a nice cold bath to cool them down. I let them sit for about 10 minutes in the cold water. After they've cooled off, I start to peel them. I actually take a butter knife and I tap it and crack the egg a little bit, and then I start to peel away the shell with my fingers, and I'll place it back into the water just like this, just to kind of get all the shells off. I really like using the cold water to rinse off the egg shell from the egg. Now I like to place the eggs on top of a paper towel and let them dry a little bit. I'll also just kind of wrap the paper towel around them and pat them down just to get most of the moisture and water off of them. Now I'm just going to go ahead and start cutting the eggs in half. I try to slice it down the middle as carefully as I can so that I don't break it. And then I just, if I can see that the yolk is loose, I'll just kind of pop it in a bowl. Sometimes I'll use a spoon to kind of help take the yolk out of the center without breaking the egg. Now that I have all the eggs sliced down the middle, I'm going to go ahead and take out the rest of the yolk. Okay, now that all the egg yolks are out, I'm going to go ahead and just take a fork and start smashing the egg yolks. And you want to make sure the yolk is, all the lumps are completely out of the yolk, and you want it just nice and smooth and thin. Also, when you add the other ingredients, it will help smooth out the egg yolk, but just keep on smashing. So I decided to go ahead and put the egg yolks in a bigger bowl because I realized that the bowl that I was using was going to be too small. So we are going to use a bigger bowl, and then we're going to add all the rest of the ingredients. Okay, I'm going to start by adding 2 heaping tablespoons of mayonnaise. I realized it wasn't as smooth as I would like it to be, so I'm going to add 1 more heaping spoon of mayonnaise, so that makes 3 heaping tablespoons of mayonnaise so far. I also like to add about a splash of mustard. It's probably about 1 teaspoonful, and then I like to mix it up and try to make it as smooth as I can. Okay, now I'm going to add a few splashes of vinegar, just regular white vinegar. I probably use about 1 to 2 tablespoons in it. You can use as much as you like, just kind of mix it up and taste it. And if you like it, then just keep it like that. If you want, add more. Okay, now I'm going to use just a small little Ziploc bag. I'm going to cut a small piece off the corner of it. And I'm going to use this little tip from a frosting piping bag mix. I don't have any more of the piping bags, but you can go ahead and use either a Ziploc freezer bag, the large one, or just the small sandwich bag. It works just as good. And then just go ahead and get a spatula and fill up your Ziploc bag with the egg yolk mixture. Okay, now I'm just going to take my bag and I'm going to place the tip inside the egg white and just kind of swirl it around and squeeze it and try to make the most pretty fancy little design on top of the egg, and just continue to do that until you are completely out of the deviled egg mixture. As you can see here, this is definitely messy, so it's not going to be the cleanest using a Ziploc bag, but it gets the job done. Okay, now I'm just going to add and sprinkle a little bit of paprika on top of all the eggs. And sometimes I like to sprinkle just a little bit of salt as well on top, and we are done. They are ready to enjoy. If you like this recipe, hit the like button. If you want to see more recipes like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You can also hit the bell to be notified when new recipes come out. Happy eats, everyone!